Entertainment and Sports Network.
On Yankee Way, the crowd is preparing to file into Fenway Park. Opened up in 1912, still going strong today. Derek Jeter's in the house, and he's giving some memories out. David Ortiz, yeah, he's still here with the Red Sox. They did not trade him. Stephen Drew went from one clubhouse to the next and into the Yankee starting lineup. Got all that? It is time for baseball, as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Boston Red Sox in the first of three from Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with David Cohn. I'm Michael Kay. What a trade deadline day. One of the best of all time in Major League Baseball. So many big faces traded, so many big faces sent away. We'll try to get into it as the game moves along. But let's take a look at what the Yankees have done over the last couple of weeks. So the arrivals drew Martin Prado, who will be available today, Esmil Rogers, Chase Headley, Brandon McCarthy. We see the players that the Yankees sent away. Now, there wasn't a drastic improvement, David, but when you look at what the Yankees did, incremental improvements.
Yes, and kind of getting guys on the upswing, too. Chase Headley was swinging the bat a little better. Martin Prado, we're going to see probably tonight, maybe in a pinch-hitting role, has been swinging the bat a lot better. It's an eye towards the future, obviously. All these pieces the Yankees have picked up potentially could fit into next year's equation, depending on who plays where, what the solutions are. Once Derek Jeter's gone, you got to find a shortstop.
For the future and also for the present, they're trying to make a pennant run. But the Boston Red Sox, their move's drastic as they've given up on the 2014 season. While the arrivals, well, they're impressive, but take a look at the departures. 4/5 of last year's starting rotation on a team that won a World Series. They are gone. David, this is a team, as I mentioned, that's given up on this year. This is a futures move by the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, without a doubt. They've done it before. They're getting good at this. Every other year, maybe they're going to tear it down to build it back up. I think the key in this particular deal is Cespedes, Yoenis Cespedes. Obviously, John Lester's going to be thrown to the offseason. Maybe he'll be back, maybe he won't. Cespedes, who got a year and a half now to find out if he can play here at Fenway Park, whether that big bat translates here with the big monster. And I think that's the key for them. If he doesn't work out and then you don't sign Lester back in the offseason, could be a free fall for Boston for a while.
Kind of a weird buzz around Boston about these trades. This town is not used to this team giving up on a season, which is exactly what they're doing. One of the players that started the season with the Red Sox, now a Yankee, Chris Capuano, is going to get the start for the Bombers against his former team. We'll give you the complete pitching matchup and take a look at what Capuano did in his first start next. brought to you by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. For the Red Sox is Anthony Renato. He's a kid from New Jersey making his major league debut. You see what he did at AAA Pawtucket, 12-4, 2.41. Chris Capuano started the season with the Red Sox, 1-1, 4.30. His first time out with the Yankees, David, he didn't do too poorly.
No, he did not. He gave them everything they could have asked for. He got through 6 innings and only 2 earned runs and changed his speed so well. He can get righties and lefties out. Probably his best pitch is that changeup, as you see there, that he gets good action down and in on lefties. Fields his position well, has a good pickoff move, kind of like Andy Pettitte back in the day, but you see he's an athlete, excellent diving play there. Capuano's got an opportunity here. He's the only lefty in the Yankee rotation.
Well, the Yankees want to start this series in the right way, and the guy who starts the lineup the right way is Brett Gardner. He has been on fire. When we come back, lineups, first pitch baseball, Yankees, Red Sox, next on Yes. Irish True, enjoy responsibly. By La Quinta Inns and Suites. Wake up on the bright side at La Quinta Inns and Suites. Book now at LQ.com. By Honda, get a great deal on a new car you'll love at the Honda Summer Clearance Event. And by NYU Langone Medical Center, made for New York. Nice evening here in Boston, Mass. Red Sox have taken the field at Fenway Park. And we're going to take a look at the Yankees starting lineup, which is presented, as always, by our good friends at Lexus. Yankees coming to 55 and 52. They lead off their left fielder, Brett Gardner. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, will bat second. Batting third, playing center field, Jacoby Ellsbury. Mark Teixeira's at first base. He'll clean up. The number 5 hitter, DH, Carlos Beltran. Brian McCann will catch. He'll bat 6. Batting 7, playing third base, Chase Headley. Stephen Drew goes from one clubhouse to the next. He'll be at second base first time in his career. He'll bat 8th and batting 9th. And playing right field is Ichiro Suzuki. David, we got a kid on the mound.
Yes, we do, and it's a Jersey kid, too. You think there's some people back home watching this one. It's Anthony Ronaldo. This will be his major league debut. He earned his way here. Those are numbers in AAA. He's been a top prospect for the Red Sox for a while. Now with all the trade flurry, he gets his opportunity. And let's go ahead and give you the pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. And as we said, welcome to the show. He'll be the first Red Sox pitcher to make his debut versus the Yankees since Robinson Checo back in 1997. And he's been on a roll. He's been 7-0 with a 1.63 ERA, and he hasn't lost since June 1st in his AAA starts. And Freehold, New Jersey boy, attended St. Rose High School in Belmar, New Jersey.
So his heart probably pumping through his chest right now. Brett Gardner, who had a great series in Texas, although the Yankees lost 2 out of 3. He's getting ready, hopes that the day off doesn't cool him off. So Gardner's in there. Renato is in there. And let's do it here at Fenway. First pitch is up and away, and we are underway. This was supposed to be John Lackey's start, and he was traded to the St. Louis Cardinals, so Anthony Renato gets called up from AAA Pawtucket. And there's his first big league strike.
Big right-hander out of LSU, too. He was a big top prospect in the 2010 draft. Baseball America had him as their top pitching prospect in that draft.
Red Sox selected him with the 39th pick. They had a supplemental pick, 39th pick of the 2010 draft, as David said, out of LSU. And a lot of good pitchers out of LSU. Ben McDonald, you think of? Kind of Ben McDonald's build. Yankees baseball available in Spanish by hitting the SAP button on your remote. SAP is brought to you by Infinity. Now, David mentioned Robinson Checo, so this young man, the first Red Sox pitcher to make his major league debut against the Yankees, but the first one at Fenway Park since Mike Garman in September of 1969. So they don't usually throw their young pitchers up against the Yankees in the first game. The 2-2. The buzz here in Boston is one, I think, of disbelief and some anger. Some people are for it. Some people are not, the way they tore their team apart, especially giving up and trading Lester, who really is a favorite son here. Homegrown left-hander. Many people compare him to Andy Pettitte in terms of strength and ability to be a good pitcher for a long time. So I think a lot of people were shocked that the Red Sox pulled the trigger on Lester, which kind of tells you that they didn't think they were going to sign him, which, you know, David offered this scenario when we opened up. You know, maybe they get Cespedes and sign Lester, but that's not likely.
It makes you wonder at this point. John Lester on the free agent market is going to command a lot of attention.
Brett Gardner walks. David, the first contract they offered him, and the only contract they offered him, was 4 years, $70 million. And then you look at Max Scherzer, who turned down $144 million. Derek gets a nice hand from the crowd here at Fenway. There's a strike. I'm sure you had this, David. You know, you go on the mound, you're a kid. I mean, Anthony Renato grew up in Belmont. So I'm sure he watched Yankee games and saw Derek Jeter. Now he's staring down at Derek Jeter.
Yes, without a doubt. You know that his heart's got to be pumping right now. You know, this isn't a surprise. You know, Anthony Ronaldo, he earned his way to the big leagues.
Chopped right side. Pedroia will take the out at first as Gardner will move to second. Let's take a look at the Red Sox defense presented by Geico. And there's a new Red Sox in left field. It's Alan Craig. Came over in the Lackey deal from the Cardinals. Then you've got Mookie Betts in center and Brock Holt over in right. Middlebrooks comes up from Pawtucket. He'll be at third. Bogarts moves back to short. Pedroia at second. Napoli at first. And Ross is behind the plate with Renato on the mound. The boos you heard were for Jacoby Ellsbury, the former Red Sox.
Yoenis Cespedes is in the ballpark. I saw him in the dugout before, but he didn't arrive in time to be in the starting lineup.
And the same deal with Martin Prado, who's also here. So both pinch hitting candidates. Popped up, left field. Alan Craig gets his first try. 2 outs. All right, let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. This weekend, there's a lot of rain in the forecast. 79 degrees right now, 57% humidity. The wind 12 miles per hour. It's cloudy, 10 to 15 miles per hour to the south-southwest. And the greater chance for rain is tomorrow, so it'll be interesting to see if they get that game in. Runner at second now, 2 outs. Just underway here at Fenway. Here's Mark Teixeira. There's a strike. Now 0-2. There's Martin Prado on the left talking to Francisco Cervelli. Everything you hear about Prado, very versatile, can play all over the place, and a good clubhouse guy. Those two countrymen from Venezuela. The 0-2. Still 0-2.
Yeah, the Yankees thought so much of Prado, Michael, that, they took on a little payroll with him. If you think about it, he signed for 2 more years at 11 per. So he comes in the middle of a $40 million deal, and that shows you the kind of player he is. Really established himself, career .290 hitter in the big leagues. As Michael said, can play all over the field. So he's kind of an interesting addition. Going to probably play right field now, but can play second base, can play third base. Gives him some real insurance going into next year as well.
One and two. Was an International League All-Star, Renato, this year with Pawtucket. And the 1-2. Foul back. The transition not as difficult for Renato if he was coming onto a veteran team, but there's a lot of guys on the Red Sox that he was teammates with in the minor leagues, guys that haven't been up here that long, so there's an easier transition for him. 1-2 pitch. 2-2. 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Good stuff. The shift, of course, is on for Teixeira. 3 infielders on the right side. Only Middlebrooks on the left side. Check swing, right back to Renato. And that'll do it. So he has a scoreless first inning, his first big league game. Yankees strand 1, Yankees nothing. Red Sox coming back. presented by Chevrolet. Brock Holt is in right field. He'll lead off, batting second. The second baseman, Dustin Pedroia. David Ortiz, the DH, will hit third. Cleaning up, first baseman Mike Napoli. Alan Craig in left field will bat fifth. Batting sixth and playing shortstop, Xander Bogaerts. Will Middlebrooks up from Pawtucket. He'll be at third base, hitting seventh. The number 8 hitter is the catcher, David Ross. And Mookie Betts is in center field. He will bat ninth.
Chris Capuano on the year. This will be his second start. You see the games, a lot of those games were with the Red Sox earlier this year. And on the year, 37 2/3 innings, 33 strikeouts. Let's go ahead and give you your pitcher scouting report, brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. And back in Beantown, really got off to a good start with the Red Sox out of the pen, and then kind of fell apart, was released, sent to Colorado, made some starts, and finds himself right back in the big leagues with the Yankees. Had a solid debut for the Yankees. Quality start, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, and he is the lone lefty. I mean, if you're the Yankees out there looking on the scrap heap for starters, you're looking for left-handed starters. Capuano's out there. They need him. They need to break up the right-handers in their rotation. He's got a chance here to finish out the year and possibly make some noise and get a chance to stick around in the big leagues for a little longer.
There's the Yankee defense behind him, presented by Geico. Gardner, Ellsbury, and Ichiro, left to right in the outfield. Infield, Headley, Jeter, Drew, playing his first game ever at second base. Teixeira at first. McCann behind the plate. Capuano is on the mound. Here is Brock Holt. And the pitch is high. Yankees in at the corners for the lefty swinging Holt. With the acquisitions that the Red Sox made, it's going to be very tough for John Farrell to get Holt in the lineup. He's going to have to really move him around because there's no open spot anymore. Alan Craig's going to be a left. Cespedes is going to be in right. Holt really doesn't project as a center fielder. Infield's kind of spoken for, so he'll have to give guys days off to get Holt in there. Holt's had a very good year.
He's really been the only one that's had any success out of the leadoff hole this year since Jacoby Ellsbury left, obviously, in the offseason.
There's a strike. And there is Yoenis Cespedes. Excited about being here. Looking forward to being a teammate of the guy on the left, David Ortiz. 2-time home run derby champion. Grounded foul.
But it's such a weird feeling, Michael, when you put the uniform on after you've been traded in the middle of a pennant race. And speaking from experience, you really want to make a good first impression. You're a little bit stunned. In Cespedes' case, you're going from first place to last place. It's usually the other way around.
Must like looking at that wall, though. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. And that gets away from McCann. So Holt will reach on the strikeout and the wild pitch.
Well, tough way to start if you're Capuano. You make a good pitch down to get the swing and the miss, and Brian McCann is fooled on it. He looks like it's going to get there in the air the whole way, and it doesn't. It short hops McCann, so clearly a misplay by Brian McCann, who normally blocks balls very well.
They gave him a pass ball, David. Here's Dustin Pedroia. You wonder if the trade of Lester yesterday is connected to the contract that Dustin Pedroia took. Dustin Pedroia gave the Red Sox a massive hometown discount. And when you look at what Robbie Cano got, well, then you can make the argument, if you'd like, Pedroia should have gotten somewhat close to that, but he didn't even try. And I think the Red Sox thought that Lester was going to and should do the same thing. But the hard part of that argument, David, this is not a small market team where players have to take less money. They print money here in Boston. I mean, they own Nesson, they own the ballpark, they own the team, but they're going about things in a little bit different way now.
Well, they certainly are. As you get a look at one of the owners, John Henry, right there, enjoying the food here at Fenway. Also, a lot of talk, Michael, about the age factor on pitching. And with Lester, a long-term deal beyond 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7-year deal would push him up to the mid to upper 30s.
Right.
There's not a great track record with those type of deals and pitchers that sign long-term after their 30th birthday.
Hit to Jeter. There's one. Not in time. Nice scoop there out of the dirt by Teixeira.
A nice Sunday hop for Jeter here on Friday nights, and the turn was the problem. Teixeira makes a big high pick. As you see, Jeter gets rid of it in good shape. Coming across the bag. So you want to play second base, huh? Here you go. First try. Would have been close either way as Pedroia gets down the line very well. Stephen Drew's first chance as a Yankee there.
First chance as a second baseman. Came up to the big leagues in 2006. Has never played a third of an inning at second base, so this is new for him. Here's David Ortiz. There's a strike. Drew kind of cracked people up in the press conference. He said he played second base 2 months in 10th grade, but he did stress that it was the varsity.
Big difference.
High fly ball, right field. Ichiro drifts back. He has room. 2 down. You know, David, what you said about the long-term deals for pitcher, and that it makes sense, and I think the premise is a smart premise, but you're not going to get free agent pitchers then, because that's the price of doing business in baseball right now. People are willing to take the hit at the back end of the contract to get that pitcher. You don't think that Max Scherzer and John Lester are going to get 7-year deals?
Especially here. You know, we'll find out in the offseason, you know, what approach the Boston Red Sox front office takes with John Lester, because they both left the door wide open potentially to come back. But I agree with you, Michael. It makes you wonder, now that Lester's out there, it's going to be hard to get him back.
Napoli wraps one to center field. Ellsbury is there, and that'll do it here in the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We played 1-0 at Fenway. Brought to you by Toyota. Prius is the official hybrid vehicle of the Yankees. Here's a question. Summarize yesterday's non-waiver trading deadline for us in one word. Lamoa 92, unpredictable. That's one word. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius to keep the conversation going. I might go with dizzying. It was amazing. I mean, I'm following it in real time on Twitter. You just couldn't believe the stuff that was happening.
It really did start to take shape after Billy Beane made the initial blow. And what a blockbuster deal he made.
Carlos Beltran takes the strike.
Get so used to prospects for veterans in in recent history with big trades on that kind of a day. It seems like the trends changed this year. The teams want major league ready talent back. Boston wanted Yoenis Cespedes back. They wanted more not prospects, but more guys that you can plug right into the big league roster.
Red Sox did a nice thing between innings. They showed a little highlight video of Stephen Drew, and then they showed him on the scoreboard. He got a nice hand from the crowd and waved to the crowd. Helped them win a championship. And now he's part of the enemy. The 2-2. Missed inside. Beltran, McCann, and Headley here in the second against Renato. Missed with the breaking ball, and Beltran works a walk. Beltran was 6 for 13 in Texas, so he's starting to come around. The Yankees could use that bat. Here's Brian McCann. The decision that the Red Sox made on Lester, I don't think it's a direct parallel, but you could look at the decision that the Yankees made on Robinson Cano. They were not giving him a 10-year deal. But again, price of doing business, there's always going to be some team that is going to go that route. So you're going to lose the player. If you're going to hold steady on your principles about back ends of contracts, you'll lose the player unless the player has a real strong attachment like Pedroia did to stay here in Boston. One. High fly ball, left field. Alan Craig makes the play. One down. Catch all of the second half action on MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service. Watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices. Visit Yankees.com for details.
Well, it really does go to show you, Michael, with the trade deadline, that in Boston's case, it really went down to the wire, because coming out of the break, they kind of were back and forth in terms of their success. And then a quick little losing streak right before the trade deadline put them 12 games below 500 and accelerated the sell-off process.
And strangely, it was a series in Tampa Bay that really convinced them that they weren't going to make a run. And I say strangely because Tampa Bay is in it and still traded their best player. And you wonder how that flies in that clubhouse. Listen, you guys made a run. You're the hottest team in baseball over the last 2 months, but we traded David Price, although we controlled him for another year. The Price trade's a head scratcher because I mean, what did they get back of real import? So you've got Smiley, Franklin, and the kid shortstop from Detroit. He's 18 years old, and he's the key to the deal. And do we know if an 18-year-old is going to make it? Drew Smiley is a middle of the rotation pitcher, and Nick Franklin has really stumbled after being a top prospect. But Tampa Bay makes very few mistakes, David, so I guess you just got to figure that they know what they're doing.
There almost seemed to be a desperation out of Tampa, especially after the initial Boston-Oakland trade. It sent John Lester out to Oakland, and then Detroit got really serious about getting Price at that point to counter that move. And you could sense in Tampa that they thought they could really take advantage of it. The benefactor, Seattle, they gave up a guy that wasn't really in their plans for a center fielder.
Line drive to right field. Coming on is Holt. And he'll make the play for the second out. Let's see the hand that Stephen Drew gets.
The second baseman, number 33, Stephen Drew.
Respectful. I mean, that's got to be so odd, Dave. He was on this team Wednesday.
Didn't have to leave town. Just change clubhouses.
Steven was a free agent at the end of last year. They offered him the $14 million qualifying offer, which means that they would get a draft pick if somebody signed him. And people shied away because of that. Well, he turned out $14 million from the Red Sox. He ended up back here after the draft was over in June, and really didn't have much time to prepare. The Yankees think that his numbers reflect the fact that he didn't have a full spring training. And they've always liked Drew, and I think their game plan last winter, David, was to bring him in, sign him to a 2-year deal, play second, and then take over for Jeter next year in short. So that, I guess that could still be in play.
It absolutely could be in play. The Yankees, obviously, with these moves, both Drew and Prado, with an eye towards filling the holes next year, too.
The 0-2. Yankees sent Kelly Johnson to the Red Sox in the Drew deal. The 0-2. 1-2.
Yeah, Brian Cashman said that he was watching what was going on with Boston during the last couple of hours before the deadline, and said, "What the heck?" So he shot a text to Ben Cherington, said, "Hey, how about Drew for Johnson?" Trying to sneak it through and got it done. Kind of an under the radar move considering everything that Boston was doing on that day in the last couple of hours.
Grounded to first. Napoli steps on the bag, and that will do it here in the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, a one-man left. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Still no score.
Sox scoreless as we head to the bottom of the second. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Marakovitz. As David Cohn and Michael Kay have been talking about 3 new faces in that Yankees clubhouse, Martin Prado, Esmil Rogers, and Stephen Drew, all acquired yesterday to make room for them on the roster. Zealous Wheeler and Zoilo Almonte were optioned to AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre, and veteran second baseman Brian Roberts was designated for assignment. Now, I had the opportunity to catch up with Stephen Drew earlier today, and I asked him how odd it was walking into Fenway today and going to the opposite clubhouse. And he said he knew with everything that Ben Cherington was doing and some of the moves that were being made that he could be a guy that was traded. He never thought he would be traded to the Yankees. So a little different to walk into that clubhouse. And guys, you have to consider first trade between the Yankees and the Red Sox since August of 1997. Now, not only is he with the new team, but he's also playing a new position, as you had mentioned, 955 regular season games, 28 postseason games, all at shortstop. He was asked why he believes he could make that transition, and he said he's always had confidence in his defensive ability. That's first and foremost. Now, first base coach for the Yankees also helps out with the infielders. Mick Kelleher said he has quick feet and good hands. It's not something that we don't believe he can do. And Joe Girardi kind of added, with the way teams are shifting nowadays, shortstops are used to playing on that side of the infield. So the biggest thing for him will be kind of getting used to that angle and trying to decide where to be and when he should be there. And that'll come with time.
Ellsbury runs down Alan Craig's line drive for the first out of the second. I'm interested to see, Meredith, did he have any comment about possibly being the guy that could replace Jeter next year?
Well, he kind of shied away from that, Michael. What he started saying was really, I want to focus on this year and playing second base, but he added, Derek Jeter is a guy that I have admired for a long time. I've watched his career for a while, so to play with a future Hall of Famer, that means an awful lot to me. And he took it a step further as far as the transition is concerned, saying, I've learned an awful lot from Dustin Pedroia, a guy I feel is also going to be a Hall of Famer. He said he's watched him throughout the years, realizes the way he goes about his business, what he does at second base, and said that's going to be something that really helps me in trying to transition to that position as well.
Xander Bogaerts at the plate. One of the reasons they traded Stephen Drew to move Xander Bogaerts back to shortstop. He really struggles offensively and defensively at third, and to give Will Middlebrooks a 2-month tryout to see if he's in their future. Meredith, also the Yankees acquired, this was a little under the radar, Esmil Rogers. Let's talk about him.
Well, Michael, if you look at his numbers on the season, they're not great. An ERA approaching 7, but he feels as though he may have found something lately. He hasn't pitched for about a week and a half, but said when he was struggling with the Blue Jays earlier in the season, it was really fastball command that plagued him. When he doesn't have his fastball, he can't set up his slider, and that's the main issue. He feels as though he'll have better fastball command, and that will allow him to use some of his other pitches. But he just smiled as reporters approached him in the clubhouse and said, wow, I'm just happy to have this opportunity. And Joe Girardi added that that's a guy that they really liked his arm for a long time. They're hoping they can straighten him out, and he can be a piece in that bullpen.
All right, thanks a lot, Meredith. We'll hear from you later. And here's Will Middlebrooks. So Bogaerts with the single. First hit of the game for either team. Now, I mentioned the splits, David. Bogaerts, a 294 batting average in 62 career games at shortstop. 184 in 53 games at third base. So they want to see what this kid's all about. They really like him.
No doubt about it. And Middlebrooks as well. This is the way they planned to start the year, which is why Drew was kind of hanging on the sidelines waiting for a phone call. Kind of back to the future here for the Red Sox. Find out once and for all, is this going to be the left side of your infield? As Drew now finds himself a member of the Yankees. To ask the Elias Bureau, Michael. You know, there's been a lot of talk about worst to first. You know, the Red Sox going from last to first last year. The Minnesota Twins did it 1 year as well. But how about worst to first to worst again? We're going to have to go to the Elias Bureau to find that one out. The Red Sox now currently in last place, finish in last place. odd years running here, from last place to first place World Series champions, right back to last place.
And Middlebrook swings and misses. So you've got the Braves that did it, worst to first. You've got the Twins that did it, worst to first. And I don't think either of them went back to worst after that. It's funny, the equity you get in the market by winning the World Series, you get cut a break by your fan base.
Well, last year was such a magical year for the Red Sox. Unexpectedly, everything broke just right for them.
Let's see if they send Bogarts. 3-2 count with 1 out. They do not, and that's why, as Middlebrooks goes down on strikes.
Well, this is Capuano's best pitch. That changeup with excellent depth. Makes him so versatile. Very effective against right-handed batters. I check Twitter in between innings, Michael. I got to work on my pronunciation of both starters' names tonight. I'm struggling.
Capuano and Renato.
Renato. Actually heard from Twitter it should be Capuano. If it's on Twitter, it's got to be true.
It has to be.
Capuano, Renato.
Chris and Anthony.
There you go. Take the shortcut.
Count 0-1 on David Ross. When you talk to Red Sox people and you ask them what went wrong with this year, they point to letting Saltalamacchia and Ellsbury go. Behind the plate, they took a roll of the dice on A.J. Brzezinski and they ended up releasing him. Jackie Bradley Jr. hasn't done the job in center. So they're trying to patch it together behind the plate as well. Saltalamacchia was a 20 home run guy on this team. And the pitchers like pitching to him. Not a great defensive catcher, but they like pitching to him.
His personality certainly fit very well, along with Mike Napoli, who came in, and then all of a sudden they started growing beards. Everybody on the team had beards. Had a magical year last year. Everything broke just perfectly for them. But Ellsbury's a big loss. Saltalamacchia gave him a lot of power, but I think Ellsbury, as you and I both agree on that, Michael, really, they haven't found a replacement for Ellsbury as of yet.
And that's what we're talking about when you draw a philosophical line in the sand. Well, even if it's a guy that you really need, like Ellsbury or Lester, well, you're not going to deviate from your plan. You got to give credit to a team that sticks to its guns, but you also have to have a fallback. Well, they thought that Jackie Bradley Jr. was a fallback, and he hasn't been. And there's very few pitchers as good as John Lester.
That's going to leave a big hole in their rotation.
Grounded to Jeter. He gets Ross, and that will do it. No runs to hit, no errors, and one man left on base. We go to the third. 0-0. Monday, August 4th, when the Yankees take on the Tigers. The first 18,000 guests, 14 and younger, are going to receive a Yankees back-to-school set courtesy of PC Richard & Son. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. Visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window. Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. We go to the third inning. Ichiro Suzuki will lead off. And he wraps one to left field. Going back, Craig on the track. He makes the play for the first out. Ichiro's time is going to be severely curtailed with the acquisition of Prado, who's going to end up playing right field. The Audi A3 scoreboard, no score, top of the third.
Almost do a double take looking at Gardner's numbers nowadays. Yes, that is 14 home runs. A power surge this year.
That's what he's done since the All-Star break in 13 games. It's so strange, too. He has 5 home runs and 45 at-bats since the All-Star break. Before this season, in 788 career at-bats after the All-Star break, he's had 4 home runs.
Almost get the best of both worlds with this version of Brett Gardner. 3 years ago, 4 years ago, he led the league in taking first pitches. He had the lowest swing rate in the big leagues. Took more pitches than any other hitter, at least in the American League. And this power surge, a lot of these home runs are coming early in the count. He's much more aggressive by design early in the count. But yet he still fights off a lot of pitches, still gets into deep counts, and still getting his share of walks. So it's kind of the best of both worlds with Brett Gardner. He looks for pitches early in the count to turn on, and yet he still fights off pitches and gets deep into counts.
And he walks for the second time tonight against Renato. Jeter grounded to second in the first.
Think about all the games that Derek Jeter has played against the Red Sox. 275 games. This is number 276. A lot of that due to the imbalanced schedule. Obviously, the Yankees and Red Sox hooking up around 18 times a year. But nonetheless, man, that is just a lot of history. And pretty darn good numbers, too.
Over a year and a half of his career has been against the Red Sox. Runner goes. Swung and a miss. Throw to second. Stolen base for Gardner.
See, that's Gardner with a great jump. Renato's pretty quick to home, and Ross makes a good throw, but Gardner just got a running lead, a hop, skip, and a jump on the way.
Strike 3, Jeter down looking. And he talks it over. with Alfonso Marquez, the home plate ump.
A little tailing action on that fastball, and Ross is excellent receiving that pitch back there as well. As Derek Jeter lets Marquez know that he's not happy with that pitch, and then on back to the dugout.
Here's Jacoby Ellsbury. On the road trip so far, Jacoby 1 for 10, and over a longer stretch, 2 for his last 27. And that follows a scorchingly hot streak at the beginning of the homestand, right out of the break. Right up the middle and grabbed there by Bogaerts. Gets to his feet, fires to first, not in time. Ellsbury beat it out for an infield single as Gardner moves to third. Here comes John Farrell. First base umpire is Ted Barrett.
Very close play. Excellent play from Bogaerts, though. Great range, back up, and that's bang, bang. Be hard to overturn that one.
And Farrell will not challenge. We'll take another look.
Ellsbury really accelerates through the bag. That's the way you run through a bag, Michael. We've talked about it before. I never understood why somebody would ever dive into first base. That's the way you do it. That's the way you run right through the bag. It's the quickest way to get there. No reason to slide into first base unless there's a throw to avoid.
Obviously, Ellsbury a threat to go. Mark Teixeira clubs one to center field. Backing up is Betts, and he makes the play for the final out of the third. No runs to hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the third. No score. Tag yes fan photo for a chance to have it shown during the game. Brought to you by AT&T. We've been getting some great photos throughout the year, and we thank you for taking the time to send those. As we go to the bottom of the third inning, and Mookie Betts is going to lead off. It'll be 9-1-2 for the Red Sox. On the Audi A3 scoreboard, there is no score. 0-0, each team with a hit apiece. Count 1-0.
Kind of feel like with the Red Sox, the race is on between Mookie Betts and Jackie Bradley Jr. Who's gonna take hold of that center field job and establish themselves? Both of them highly touted prospects. Jackie Bradley Jr. has been a highlight reel on defense this year. Incredible defender. Just hasn't been able to be consistent offensively yet.
There's a strike.
And Mookie Betts here has really risen up the farm system in a hurry. Almost just knocked the door down to the big leagues. Great minor league numbers, and they think he's got a little more power in his bat potentially than Jackie Bradley Jr. And batting right-handed in Fenway Park helps as well.
Well, Betts was thrown right into the fire. He debuted on Sunday Night Baseball at Yankee Stadium earlier this year. That's where everybody in baseball, all the other 28 teams were watching. 3-2. Rounded to third. Oh, nice pick by Headley. Fires to first. Took an extra base hit away. Nice play by Chase Headley.
Indeed. Headley's known for a good glove, and he's guarding the line. And good thing, because he's on the foul side making that throw. See Headley cheating towards the line and a good short hop. No way he makes that play unless he's cheating the line there. A good play. You know, Capuano, similar to Andy Pettitte, really reliant on the left side of his infield. A lot of ground balls going to go to third and short.
Pitch outside to Brock Holt.
To remember Andy Pettitte telling Scott Brocious back in the day to guard the line. I'm going to throw that cutter in on righties. He always wanted his third baseman cheating towards the line a little bit.
Brock Holt reached in the first inning, struck out, but got on when the ball got past Brian McCann. It was scored as a pass ball, but no damage done. Neither team has scored. Just added some pitches to Capuano's total, which is 35. Teixeira couldn't move. It was by him and down the right field line. Into that wicked corner. Played out there by Ichiro. Holt is going for three, and he will make it. That is one killer corner out there.
No doubt about it. Holt continues with his exciting play for the Red Sox. Just a smash right by Teixeira. And you don't know where it's going to kick once it gets down this way, as Ichiro actually does a pretty decent job of fighting it. But Holt, been very exciting to watch, and he's got some wheels too, and he makes up his mind, and he's going to easily make it. Into third, sliding into third with a stand-up triple.
Yankees bring the infield in with Dustin Pedroia at the plate.
The old Ralph Kiner line. Sliding into third with a stand-up triple. Actually true. There is such a play. We just saw it.
Fouled off by Pedroia. Dustin grounded to Jeter, who got the force at second. That was in the first inning. The 0-1. 1-1.
You know, just in looking at some of the comments, you know, Pedroia, obviously one of the go-to guys on this team after the Lester trade. Really quiet about it, understandably so. Very, very close friends with John Lester. Tough day for Pedroia and a lot of these teammates.
That's going to get a run in, maybe more. Ellsbury back, it's over his head into that triangle and bounces into the seats for a double. Scoring is Holt, and the Red Sox are up 1-0.
It's a high changeup that Pedroia is sitting on and hammers to the deepest part of the park, right in front of the 420 sign. Capuano catches a break that went into the seats to hold Pedroia to a stand, to sort of a grounds rule double.
Here's David Ortiz, and we'll take a look at the AL home run Honda League leaders. Ortiz with 24, he's fifth. Jose Abreu leads with 31, the rookie from the White Sox. Cruz Encarnacion. Oh, I'm sorry, he's fourth. Trout has 24. Skipped the line there, my apologies. So Ortiz is fourth and Trout is fifth. The 1-0. Line to right field. It's a base hit for Ortiz. Pedroia will score. It's an RBI single for the Red Sox DH, and it's 2-0 Boston. '78th ribby for David Ortiz.
Still very quick inside. As you see, that pitch is pretty close to the inside corner and down. Ortiz cuts it off at the pass. And Ichiro, playing so deep in right field, is going to not have a chance to throw Pedroia out at the plate. It's an easy RBI with Pedroia running.
A triple, a double, a single for the Red Sox. They have a 2-0 lead. Here's Napoli. Napoli with a fly ball to center in the first inning.
Such a premium on hitters this year, Michael. You know, and the trade deadline really brought that out, with the exception of the top of the rotation guys. Obviously, Price, power pitching, Price and Lester, but the rest of it was really about power hitting, trying to find a bat. Real commodity out there. See, that's why he became such a valuable piece to this particular trade. Cespedes' power combined with this particular ballpark and this lineup with Napoli and Big Papi around him. The addition of Craig, too, from the Cardinals in the Lackey trade. A little different middle of the order lineup now.
Count 3-1 now on Napoli.
Interesting to see how the lineup shakes down for Boston, what John Farrell does, and where he inserts Cespedes. Probably right in between Ortiz and Napoli.
Lined right at Jeter. The throw to first, it's high. And Ortiz just got back. Ortiz came very close to getting doubled off on a ball hit in front of him.
Yes, he did. Nowhere to go either. Big Papi got a little lucky there for the high throw from Jeter. Got nowhere to go on a line drive.
Here's Alan Craig. The sure shows some hops. Saves Jeter now. Fastball strike to Craig. Craig and Joe Kelly, the return the Red Sox got from the Cardinals. And the deal for John Lackey.
They're hoping another right-handed bat that the Red Sox are hoping for a rebound. Obviously buying low. His numbers are down this year.
And it shows you the fragile nature of young pitching. You looked at the Cardinals when the Yankees were in St. Louis, you just marveled at their young pitching, but people get hurt. And they had a scramble in that National League Central, which is so tightly packed. They needed to give up a pitcher and a guy who's having an off year but has had good years for them in order to bring in a veteran. The 0-2. 1-2.
There's certainly a premium on pitchers who are high strikeout guys in postseason play, and that's really the difference. People talk about nowadays the way the game's played, the strikeouts don't mean as much. There's a lot of high strikeout guys. Well, they mean something in postseason. A short series is when the strikeouts really show up. That's what Billy Beane's thinking by getting Lester over there, and he's got strikeout guys ready to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sonny Gray, one of the great young strikeout pitchers. Scott Kazmir has been a great story. What a comeback to his career. So Oakland's now poised with pitchers that can miss bats. And sometimes that's what it takes in postseason.
It looked like Oakland and Detroit were really answering each other, an arms race. Look at the 5 starters that each of those teams will roll out. Let me ask you a question, David. You're managing the Tigers. Who's starting game 1 of a playoff series?
Well, I think, depends on the lineup. Obviously, you're going to look at matchups, but you have 3 different options there. You could easily start David Price in game 1 or Scherzer in game 1.
Verlander's having a tough year.
His numbers are down a bit.
Line to left field. It's a base hit off the bat of Alan Craig. Ortiz chugs to third. Craig has himself a double. And the Red Sox have runners on second and third with 2 men out.
You can see how pumped he is. His first start at Fenway Park. Going to get a double down the line as Gardner cuts it off. With Big Papi running, no real threat to score.
Here's Xander Bogaerts. Singled in the second, extends his hitting streak to 6 straight. Second and third, 2 men out, 2 runs already in. We're in the bottom of the third, 2-0 Sox. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, said Ted Barrett. Paul Schreiber's at second, and Adam Hamari is the third base ump. We told you behind the plate, Alfonso Marquez. Grounded to Headley. And he goes across the diamond to get the final out. But the Red Sox scored 2 runs on 4 hits. 2 men left. Let's go to the fourth. 2-0 Sox. The New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz. Call 1-866-NY-QUITS for free help today. This is a good question. Who's the only Hall of Fame pitcher to face both Carl Yastrzemski and Derek Jeter? Now we asked that because Derek passed Yaz on the all-time hits list. That was earlier in the week. Lincoln scoreboard 2-0 now Red Sox. Beltran will lead off here in the fourth. 1-0. So Anthony Renato has a 2-0 lead in his first big league start.
In great shape, pitch count wise.
Club to right field. Going back, Holt, still back, track, wall, see ya! A home run for Carlos Beltran. Yankees on the board. It's 2-1 Red Sox. Didn't that ball clear the wall just where Beltran hurt himself last year in the World Series?
Very near there, and Brock Holt looked like he was going to hurt himself trying to catch this, but no doubt that Beltran swing is back to where it was earlier in this year. His bat speed is back. The ball is jumping off of his bat, both left-handed and right-handed.
There's Brian McCann. Fouled away. Ball's going to come right into your living room, or den, or kitchen area. The 0-1. High pop-up. Bogarts called off by Craig, and Craig makes the play. Let's see how close they came. I guess it was the other side of the Xfinity sign. Had to leave the game, but he did play in the remainder of the series. Here's Chase Headley. And a strike. Home run number 13 for Beltran. RBI number 38. He's walked and hit a home run today. David Ross will go out and talk with Renato.
You know, the wall has been a problem for Beltran even this year and down in Tampa. And he sort of lost track of where he was on the field and playing against the Rays and had that horrible tumble over the wall in right field, down the right field line, and shortly thereafter kind of came up lame and had some elbow issues. But now finally back to where he was early in the year, swinging the bat with authority.
Who'd you give up your first big league home run to?
I remember giving up Jason Giambi's first home run he ever hit when he was in Oakland. I think the first one I gave up was a grand slam to Darrell Porter. So welcome to the big leagues moment. Bases loaded. Darrell Porter was a catcher for the Royals and Cardinals and was playing in Texas at that time.
A brand name, just like Beltran's a brand name.
Brand name, left-handed power hitter. Dead center, grand slam. Welcome to the big leagues.
1-2. 2-2.
And when you're a rookie, Michael, you feel like, oh, they're going to send you right down to the minor leagues after the game. You make a mistake like that, and it is hard to feel comfortable as a young pitcher. And Renato doing a very good job, even though he gave up the home run to Beltran here. He looks very composed on the mound.
Ground ball. Pedroia charges and gets Headley for the second out. Well, let's take a look at tonight's Cold Hard Facts, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Stephen Drew came over to the Yankees in a trade with the Red Sox. Doesn't happen very often. Now, Babe Ruth was sold, so it's not a trade. You go back to 1997. This was a good deal for the Yankees. They acquired Mike Stanley and Randy Brown for Tony Armas Jr. and Jim Mercier. In '86, they got Mike Easler for Don Baylor, and this was a great deal. In '72, they got Sparky Lau, went on to become one of the great relievers and a Cy Young Award winner for Danny Cater and Mario Guerrero. You know, so many accounts on what happened yesterday, and people ask, well, why didn't the Yankees get in on Lester and Price? Both the Red Sox and the Rays said, we are not trading those pitchers to you.
No
the Yankees
chance.
were never in it. They couldn't even make an offer because they didn't want to trade to the Yankees.
No way that was going to happen. And ironically, though, the much maligned Yankees farm system has several pieces that a lot of other GMs wanted and liked. The one piece that they had to give up, obviously, was Pete O'Brien, the power hitter.
Drew hits one to Pedroia, who bobbles, stays with it, and that'll do it. But the Yankees are on the board. They cut the lead in half. Carlos Beltran goes yard. It's his 13th home run of the year. When it lands, Red Sox 2, Yankees 1. Time for the New York State Smokers Quitline Quiz answer. Who's the only Hall of Fame pitcher to face both Carl Yastrzemski and Derek Jeter? Any idea?
Dennis Eckersley popped into my mind, but I'm not sure if he was around for Jeter.
Let's see. See, you've got to trust your mind.
I didn't trust my instincts. Yes.
Wow, good call. All right, we go to the bottom of the fourth. It's 2-1 Boston. Will Middlebrooks leads off against Capuano, who had a rough third inning, giving up 4 hits and 2 runs. And the first pitch is a strike. The Lincoln scoreboard, 2 runs on 5 hits. The Yankees 1 run on 2 hits. That one is looped the other way. It's a base hit. Playing it in the corner is Ichiro. Middlebrooks is going to go for 2. And he will make it. That's a real soft double.
Indeed it is. And Middlebrooks looks like he's wanting to check in with a triple. As you see, full swing jam shot. And a right-hand turn because of the spin off the bat. And Ichiro's got to come and get it. About that time, Middlebrooks is going to turn it up a notch and make it into second.
Here's David Ross. Ross grounded to short. That was in the second. Takes a pitch outside. Yankees charging. Thinking that Ross is trying to move Middlebrooks. Yankees in at the corners. Headley at third and Teixeira at first. That one is blooped the other way. It's a base hit. Middlebrooks rounds third. He will score. Ross with a bloop single. And the Red Sox lead 3-1. Same sort of hit, David.
Exactly. Works out better than the bunt. Take a shot to right. Capuano trying to pitch him in. And inside out. I mean, Ross is thinking this the whole way to move the runner over. The base hit and the RBI are a bonus.
Here's Mookie Betts. David, what upsets a pitcher more, giving up that sort of hit or just getting blistered?
I would say getting blistered would ruin your confidence more, because if you're making pitches that are really getting hit hard, then you really can affect your confidence. You know, nobody loves to give up bloopers or broken bad hits, but at least you can feel like you're executing your pitches. The objective of a pitcher is to keep the ball from getting hit hard, to promote weak contact.
So you can't get that upset about that.
Well, you know, it's the luck factor too involved, always in play. You know, with where the balls are hit, the directional part of the game is unpredictable. As a hitter, you're trying to promote hard contact. The pitcher, just the opposite, trying to keep the ball on the end of the bat or on the label. You figure over the long haul, if you promote enough weak contact, it's going to work out for you.
Right.
Not so this inning for Capuano, as Whitley's going to get hot. Joe Girardi doesn't want to let this game get too far out of hand, even though only 61 pitches for Capuano at this point. I wouldn't say that Capuano's fully stretched out. He made 3 or 4 starts in the minor leagues after being in the bullpen for the majority of the season with the Red Sox.
Fly ball, shallow center. And Drew went a long way and hauled that in for the first out of the 4th inning. Here's Brock Holt. He started the two-run uprising in the third inning with a triple down the right field line.
Brock Holt has quickly become a fan favorite here at Fenway. Very exciting player so far this year. And the one bright spot in the first half of the season.
Count 1-1. But with all the moves, David, I just don't see where he fits to get significant at bats.
He's going to have to become sort of a super utility guy and play at multiple positions. That is going to be a problem for John Farrell to find enough at-bats for Brock Holt. Kind of cut out of the Pedroia mode, plays with his head on fire almost.
Moving out to left field, Gardner on the run, and he'll make the play on the warning track for the second out. The ball kept traveling. Holt showing good power the other way, so 2 down.
The wrong place to hit it. Yankee defense, probably the strongest spot on the field is the spot in between Ellsbury and Gardner, and if they don't catch it, it can't be caught.
And that's from Yesmo, brought to you by your Tri-State Mercedes-Benz dealer. Pitch up and away. Last time Pedroia got a changeup up and just crushed it into the triangle just to the right of dead center field. Picked up a double and a ribby. He won around. Count 1-1.
Paul O'Neill's favorite call. The check swing call from the home plate umpire. Pedroia, no argument, as clearly he did go around.
One, 1-2.
Well, there's a couple times, when you were working with Paul O'Neill for the last week at home, you almost got him a couple times. I thought, he was getting angry. Talking about some of his hot button issues, that being one of them, the umpire's calls.
I think you can just show an umpire, and that's a hot button issue.
Just about.
Yeah.
If there's a water cooler in the booth, I think he's ready to take a swipe at it.
Swing and a miss. That time kept the changeup down and swings over the top. Well, the Red Sox add a run. It's 3-1 Boston as we go to the 5th. The year that Mike Trout gets that MVP. See the standings in the American League East. 1-1, 6th inning, Seattle and the Orioles. The Orioles lead the East, 1.5 over the Blue Jays, and 5 over the Yankees in the West. The Athletics lead, the Angels hot on their tail. That's why Billy Beane made that move for John Lester as well. Mariners are over 500, but in the West, they're out of it, but they're not out of it in the wild card. A lot of moving parts in baseball, a lot of close races, teams still very, very much involved. Here's Ichiro as we go to the 5th, 3-1 Red Sox.
I think we're still kind of getting used to the new format with the second wild card spot, because really that's a crapshoot. And if the Yankees or any other team gets that second wild card spot, what you really earn is maybe a trip out to Anaheim.
Line drive base hit off the bat of Ichiro, leadoff single here in the 5th. Let's take a look at the wild card standings. It might be the best route for a lot of teams to get in. The Angels are 5.5 in front with that first wild card. Then the Blue Jays are next. Mariners 3 behind them. Royals 3.5, and the Yankees 3.5 behind the Blue Jays. Now the Angels made their moves before the trade deadline, really bolstering their bullpen. They want to catch the A's. The last thing you want to do is have a great season like that and have it come down to one game to get into the next round.
No doubt about it. Potentially a road game as well if you're the second wild card. Anything can happen, obviously, but to put your whole season, all your hopes on that one play-in game, well, that's asking a lot.
Here's Brett Gardner. He's walked twice, also stole a bag. 1-0.
Renato really uses his height, his leverage, drives the ball down well. Good control tonight. 39 strikes out of 64 pitches. Wouldn't say that he's an overpowering type pitcher, but certainly plus fastball. We've seen him up to 94 miles an hour. Good movement, though. Looks like he relies on some two-seam movement. Really tries to drive the ball downhill.
Two and two.
Big kid from Jersey, as we said, and very under control with his delivery, Michael. I mean, he's kind of a control artist, really. I mean, he looks very much like he knows what he's doing out there. Even his misses are just off or just in. Clearly, he's ready for this promotion from AAA.
3-2 on Gardner. So Ichiro's on first. Does Girardi send Ichiro on a 3-2 to Gardner with Jeter on deck? He's going. Line drive. And caught by Pedroia. Tosses to first for the double play. One of the perils of sending the runner.
Sometimes you break your bat and get a hit. Sometimes you hit a line drive right at him and got nothing to show for it. That's hit so hard that Ichiro had to jump to get out of the way. Pedroia playing a double play depth has got an easy line drive double play.
Jeter grounds one to Pedroia. And that'll do it here in the 5th. No runs, a hit, no errors, and because of the double play, nobody left. The end of 4 1/2, we're halfway through. Yankees down 2. This is brought to you in part by Angry Orchard Hard Cider. Branch out by the 2014 Mazda 3 with seamless connectivity. And by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. Bottom of the 5th inning at Fenway. Red Sox 3 and the Yankees 1. David Ortiz will lead it off against Chris Capuano. Ortiz with an RBI single his last time up. He's 1 for 2. It'll be Ortiz, Napoli, and Alan Craig. Shift is on. 3 infielders on the right side. Missed outside. Grounded foul.
You know, Michael, we were talking before about the Red Sox. I don't think it's ever been done. When we mentioned, you know, they went from worst to first last year, and now they could go back to worst again. And Jeff Quagliata, our guru statistician up in Stanford, said the closest 2 teams were the 93 Phils.
Check swing. Jeter gets Ortiz.
It's good pitching. You can get Big Papi to check swing, and Jeter with a nice play right there. And the 98 Padres went from worst to first, and then the following year back to second to worst.
So no one's done it, though.
Nobody's done it. As you see Capuano with the slider. Big Papi tries to hold up, and Jeter's got to come get it all in one motion, and easily gets Big Papi. But yes, it's never been done before. So the Red Sox threatening it right this year, as they are now in last place in the American League East.
You know, it's interesting about this team. If you look at the Red Sox lineup, that lineup can score runs. But do they have enough pitching to win games? I mean, they've sent away 4/5 of their starting rotation. But you got Pedroia, Ortiz, Napoli, Craig, Bogarts, Cespedes is going to be in there as well. That they can put runs on the board in this ballpark. Chop to Jeter. He charges. 2 down.
It's kind of a similar story on both teams, really. The outfield home run production has been missing, both from the Yankee outfield. As we know, Brett Gardner leads the Yankee outfield with 14 home runs. Same thing with Boston this year. They still have Napoli, they still have Big Papi, and they still have some power, but their outfield has been short on home runs. And you see the offensive ranks this year really bear that out, which is why they felt the need to go get Cespedes, especially in this ballpark. They needed some power in their outfield.
It's interesting, David, that Cespedes has 3 more home runs than the entire starting outfield combined of the Red Sox.
That tells the story right there. And in this ballpark, I think Boston found out this year that that's just not a formula that works.
The veteran lefty deals the 0-1, 0-2.
So 2 big right-handed bats brought in. Both Craig from St. Louis, this guy who they think is going to bounce back, kind of buying low on his numbers right there on the year, but his track record is good. And then Cespedes. What can they do with the Green Monster here in Fenway? Completely change the dynamic of this offense.
Well, Capuano took a step toward the Yankee dugout, thought that was strike 3. Alfonso Marquez did not, so the count 1-2. 3-1 Red Sox. We're in the bottom of the 5th, first game of a 3-game set. Game time tomorrow at 4. We'll be with you again, and then Sunday it's on ESPN, but we have Yankee extra innings after the game.
You know, it usually works out that way, Michael. You know, you kind of get envious of other players' teams that do well against you. And Craig, in this case, really played well against the Red Sox in postseason. Really made an impression. So when it came time to go get him, they had that memory.
He was a real magician with runners in scoring position last year. He's really taken a slide this season, but as you mentioned, the Red Sox think they could get him back to that.
To say that about George Steinbrenner. If you played well against the Yankees, he remembered. And he tried to go out and trade for you, especially in Yankee Stadium. If he saw you play well against his team, he remembered it.
Swing and a miss, gets by McCann. He gets an angle, makes the toss, and that'll do it. So a 1-2-3 inning for Chris Capuano. We played 5 here at Fenway. It's 3-1 Boston over the Yanks. Let's take a look back at an extraordinary week on the Yes Network special, Yanks Hope Week Remembered. Relive the heartfelt moments and inspirational stories from this year's series of events. Premiering tonight after the postgame only on Yes. All right, we go to the 6th inning at Fenway. The Major League debut for Anthony Renato has gone well so far. He's given up just one run, a solo home run to Carlos Beltran. Yankees are trailing 3-1. But it'll be Ellsbury, Teixeira, and Beltran against the rookie right-hander. Ellsbury with an infield single up the middle, a diving stop by Bogarts, and almost got him at first, but Ellsbury hustled and beat it out. And he's had a hard time getting hits lately. Into that at bat, he was 2 for his last 27.
Renato really caught a break the last inning on that line drive bullet double play ball, and ended up being a quick 5th inning for him in what looked like was going to be trouble. Push him right to the 6th inning here, and a great pitch count, 71.
Month of June, 324. Month of July, 250. And it was a hot streak in the middle of July as well. Count 3-0. Pours a strike in. And there's a leadoff walk for Jacoby Ellsbury.
Tell with Renato, Michael, they probably just kept his spring training number 63. He figures maybe, you establish yourself, maybe get a few wins in the big leagues, then make the team next year. Maybe you can get a real number, come down the spectrum, unless 63 means something to him, but that's probably the number he was just issued in spring training.
Some guys like the higher numbers because it's kind of distinctive. People remember it. Here's Teixeira, hit a long drive to center in the 3rd inning. He's 0 for 2. Boy, you take a look at this defense, it cries out to push the ball the other way. The entire left side is open. A bunt, if it's hard enough, could be 2, but he's not of that mindset. He wants to hit the ball over the wall to tie the game. Runner goes. Throw to second. Stolen base. Ellsbury was pushed off the bag. And they're going to say that he was out. Ellsbury thinks he's safe. Now Joe Girardi will come out. It seemed like he stumbled off the bag after a collision.
Yeah, there definitely was contact after the hard slide, as Ellsbury's got an excellent hard slide when he comes in. First blush, good jump. I thought he was underneath the tag.
I think so too, David.
You see Ellsbury, jumps off the bag there thinking that the ball got away. He's safe the second time too, so I think he's safe both times. So I believe this has got a good chance to be overturned.
Oh yeah, he's in there. And they are going to challenge. That's a good challenge, I think, by Girardi.
The tag comes up high. That's the key.
And also, Bogarts didn't think he got him because he ran to try to tag him again.
High tag, foot underneath. I love the way Ellsbury slides into second base, contrasting to Brett Gardner's style, which is just his style. But a hard slide, spikes first. That's the way you teach youngsters to slide right there, Michael. it was Pete Rose that made sort of the head first slide in vogue, but looks to me like the foot is underneath the tag. The tag came so high. Unless he nicks him on the shoulder, this look might give us the definitive look. Looks safe to me.
Yeah, he didn't get him on the shoulder, Dave. I think he got him on the waist. Let's see what they say back at headquarters. It's taking a while.
When you look at how Bogart's almost trying to block the bag, straddling it, all the more important to go in with a feet first slide. You see Ellsbury knocks Bogarts out of the box there. Nowadays, with a lot of head first slides, middle infielders take advantage. Try to block you out.
And they overturn the call, David. And they say that Ellsbury has the stolen base. Boy, that would be pressure if he was called out there with the heart of your order coming up. But he's not. Stolen base. Now this will give Teixeira a bit of an advantage because with Ellsbury at second, they have to keep a runner near, a fielder near third base in case he tries to steal. And they have to keep somebody near second to check him back. So there are not three infielders on the right side, which is what Teixeira's used to seeing. Grounded into the gut of Napoli. He steps on the bag as Ellsbury moves to third.
One thing Renato has had today is the atom ball. Seems like a lot of hard hit balls right at the Red Sox fielders. Napoli's got to jump up to get that one in the bread basket and knock it down.
Here's Beltran, the Yankee offense tonight with that home run in the fourth inning. Red Sox will give up a run with the infield back. One and 0. Beltran so far on this road trip is 7 for 14. And he has the average over 240. He's at 242 now. 13 homers and 38 runs batted in. Lined into center field. That is a base hit for Beltran. Scoring is Ellsbury, an RBI single for the Yankee DH. He's driven in both runs. Boston's lead is now 3-2.
Good job by Ellsbury getting into scoring position. Teixeira got him over. Carlos Beltran looks like he did early in the year, Michael. I mean, he was, if you remember back, he was player of the month or player of the week a couple times early in the year. Really had a stretch where he was just dynamite, and then injuries took its toll. He's back to where he was. Ball's just jumping off of his bat.
There's Brian McCann, 2 fly balls to the left. 0 for 2. And a strike.
We heard General Manager Brian Cashman talking about trading for Chase Headley and the velo off his bat. You know, they keep track of everything now. With the velo off of Beltran's bat is definitely up. really think that's a tool that's very potentially valuable, Michael, is how hard the batter hits it, because that can help all of the defensive metrics out as well. In terms of range, second base, shortstop, outfielders. How hard was the ball hit that got by the shortstop? It's part of the equation on the defensive side of the metrics. It really needs to be added. And in the future, it will be. Kind of believe that we're just scratching the surface on the defensive side of the game in terms of evaluation. Another lefty up there, Tommy Lane. Defensive positioning and how hard the ball was hit are two of the last variables that are not added in as of yet into a lot of the defensive metrics. Range finder, different sorts of sabermetrics that are designed to gauge range on the defensive end.
One, two, strike three. McCann down looking. Let's check out tomorrow's starting pitchers. Brought to you by Verizon Fios, making life more entertaining with America's fastest, most reliable internet that's powerful. Shane Green will go for the Yankees against Allen Webster for the Red Sox. How about this, David? 5 guys in the Red Sox rotation. You mentioned the number that Renato wears. Buchholz wears 11. De La Rosa 62, Renato 63, Webster 64, Workman 67.
Those are all spring training issued numbers. And whether they end up keeping them or not depends. Back in the day, it was a real badge of honor to move up and be able to choose your own number. Spring training, you're given a 60s or a 70s number, and once you establish yourself, you can pick out a lower number. Not sure if that's as important today as it was back then, but it really was sort of a status symbol.
Well, Dylan Betances is wearing 68 proudly. There's number 11, the only real low number on the staff.
Dylan Betances is 6'8", right?
Yep. Headley fouls it away.
I think the Red Sox overall have to be extremely pleased with this young man's major league debut here. Very composed on the mound. Good stuff. Didn't seem overwhelmed at all. Seemed very much ready for this challenge here tonight.
They talk about high numbers, David. Phil Hughes kept 65 with the Yankees. Java kept 62. They never really wanted to move off those. The 2-2. And on the Yankees, not that many low numbers available.
A couple more going to be gone in a hurry, too. Number 2 and number 6.
89 pitches for Renato. And this is his most trying inning pitch count-wise.
I don't think Paul O'Neill's going to be honored at Monument Park coming up, obviously, with a plaque, but they're not retiring his number, right?
No.
Now, that's a number that's held in hostage right now.
That's right. Nobody gets 21. And when LaTroy Hawkins got it, there was a lot of problems. He had to give it back. All right, so the runner's going to be going 3-2, 2 outs. And that one is chopped to, I think that was Middlebrooks? Well, we'll say it was. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 3-2 Red Sox. AT&T fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to @YesNetwork using hashtag #YesFanPhoto for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T. Starting him off in the car seat. How about that? A. Madonna's. Happy family of Yankee fans as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Pitch to Xander Bogaerts is inside. So Capuano really ran into trouble in that 3rd inning and settled down. He did give up a run in the 4th, but he's retired 6 in a row. Oh, what a diving stop by Headley. Gets to his feet, fires, got him. Great play on both ends. What a play by Headley. The 2nd extra base hit he has robbed the Red Sox of.
Well, we said before with Capuano, like Andy Pettit, you're guarding the line a little bit, but this is almost Greg Nettles-like. Teixeira on the other end with a big pickup, because a great play like this would be a terrible thing to waste, and Teixeira makes sure that it's not.
Now, I don't know if Yankee GM Brian Cashman was trying to tamp down expectations on Headley, but when they got Headley, he said that his people tell him that Headley's an average third base. He's not an average third. He's been much better than average since he's been here. He's made all the plays and some exceptional ones as well. This guy who won a Gold Glove at one point with the Padres.
Capuano thinks he's a little better than average.
Check swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did. I don't want to get Cashman angry with me, but I disagree with that assessment.
Yes, he did. Cannot hold up, and no argument. Right back to the bench.
Remember, Brian also said when the Yankees started the season that Tanaka was the 3rd starter. So
it's true.
I think he's just trying to keep everybody's expectations controlled. Tanaka quickly showed he was not a 3rd starter. Here's David Ross.
Tanaka is due to visit the doctor, I believe, as Meredith Marakovich told us earlier, and that's a big day. What happens with Tanaka? You know, how that doctor's appointment goes. Does he start a throwing program? Or is there a setback? It's certainly big news in the Yankee organization is what happens with Tanaka from here on out. Of course, Michael Pineda too was
Sunday, right?
Sunday, he's making a rehab start, and they have said they're not going to baby him. They're going to push him if he's ready. It's a normal rehab. You go 3 or 4 innings, 5 or 6 innings, maybe 3 or 4 rehab starts, and then you're ready to go. The clock is ticking on the rehab process.
Swing and a miss.
Capuano can pitch a little bit, Michael. You know, 91 miles an hour there, kind of sneaky, quick, really good changeup. It's a 10-year veteran now. He was an all-star in 06 when he was in Milwaukee. Did not pitch in that game. 92 miles an hour is pretty good for a lefty. He was supposed to be a soft tosser. He's quicker than you think. Really good changeup that neutralizes right-handed batters. I think the knock on Capuano has always been, did he have a good enough breaking ball to neutralize lefties? But he's shown a good slider tonight.
Line drive, knocked down by Headley. Regains, fires, got him. So a 1-2-3 inning for Chris Capuano. 9 in a row retired by the Yankee left-hander. And he gets David Ross as we will go to the 7th inning. Unfortunately for the Red Sox, you'll see what happened to David Ross out of the box. Right there. And he immediately just headed down the runway in the dugout, and he is out of the game as they bring in Christian Vasquez to take over behind the plate. John Farrell completes a new battery by making the Verizon call to the bullpen. And he brings in the left-hander Tommy Lane. Another high number and just one game. It'll be Drew, Ichiro, and Gardner.
Kind of interesting, Michael. We mentioned Pineda is going to throw 60 to 65 pitches and possibly be back. It was here at Fenway Park where he was banged for the big pine tar incident, the second one with pine tar on his neck.
Cadillac scoreboard 3-2. Red Sox lead. We're going to get our first look, David, at Martin Prado. He was on deck to pinch hit for Ichiro Suzuki. Fly ball left field. Alan Craig makes the play. And here is Martin Prado, acquired from the Diamondbacks for Pete O'Brien. When he was on deck, he wrote something in the dirt which I can't make out from up here. I mean, it wasn't just like one word. It was almost like a full sentence, and then he put it in a box. I'll have to ask him what he wrote, but it's still there by where he was standing on deck. And here is Prado. Those are the numbers in 106 games with the Diamondbacks.
Nice, wearing Lou Pinella's old number, number 14.
most recently Brian Roberts' number, who was designated for assignment. Susan Waltman ran into Brian after it was learned yesterday that he was designated for assignment. Ran into him in the hotel lobby, and she said, "Gee, I'm sorry." And he said, "Don't be." He goes, "It's my fault. I didn't play well enough." He took it very, very well. He's a veteran. He's been around a long time. Chop to third. Middlebrooks gets Prado for the second out.
Well, Brian Roberts handled himself with a lot of class. He really did. And that's the type of guy he is, to take it upon himself. But a lot of talk when they signed Brian Roberts in spring training, whether he would stay healthy or not. That really wasn't the question.
Yeah.
He really actually, you got more out of him than most people thought you were going to get out of him.
He did not play well in the field, especially of late, and he really started to slump. Maybe he wore down. He hasn't played that much. Gardner 0 for 1 with 2 walks. And a strike. Bert Badenhop is up in the bullpen. Two down, nobody on. Lane deals. Strike 3. As he gets Gardner looking. So the Yankees go down in order 1-2-3. It's time for the 7th inning stretch here at Fenway. 3-2 Red Sox. Nissan game summary. Yankees 2 runs on 4 hits. The Red Sox 3 runs on 7. Beltran a solo home run and an RBI single, so he has essentially been the Yankee offense. Pedroia had an RBI double for the Sox, and Ortiz and Ross each with RBI singles. And in his major league debut, Renato 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. And if the bullpen does its job, he could get a win in his first major league appearance. Martin Prado takes over in right field. Not much history there for Prado. He's played 2 innings in his entire career, and those were the last 2 innings of the 2009 season for the Braves. But he is he's an outfielder and also plays infield very well. So if you play left, I guess you could play right. Cadillac scoreboard 3-2 Red Sox.
We're going to find out.
Yep. Baptism by fire. Capuano still in there. Pitch the Betts outside. 1-1. The Yankees had that one offensive outburst. That was Tuesday in Arlington, Texas. That was a game they won, but the offense continues to sputter. Not much on Monday, not much on Wednesday, and not much so far tonight. Just 2 runs against a rookie pitcher. And you know you have Koji Uehara out there lurking as the closer.
He was, as you mentioned, Uehara, he was very sought after at the trade deadline, and the Red Sox were adamant that he was not available. They want to bring him back. They love him as their closer. But you can bet that Ben Cherington's phone was lighting up, seeing if that guy was available.
Here's a 3-1. Strike to Betts. Line to right center. It's a base hit. Martin Prado tested out immediately. Not too tough a play as he gets it in. And a leadoff single for Betts. Let's go back to the studio. Bob Lorenz has an update. Thank you, Bob. Baltimore's been playing some great ball. They made a big acquisition yesterday. Andrew Miller from the Red Sox, and Ben Cherington said everybody wanted that guy.
He is as nasty as it gets from the left side late in the ballgame. No left-handed batter wants to hit off of him. Really right into Capuano's strength here with Mookie Betts on first base. Definitely a threat to run, and Capuano with an excellent move to first base. Very similar to Andy Pettitte in that regard. Big lead, too, for Mookie Betts. See, after that hit, the crowd here at Fenway really wanting to get into his name, Mookie. Here's some Mookie chants. Exciting young player with speed. And
bunted back to Capuano. Takes his time and just gets Brock Holt at first base. So the sacrifice, 1-3 as Betts moves to second.
If I'm on the mound, Michael, you know how I feel. This is an out. Thank you very much. Brock Holt swinging the bat well. You got speed on the bases. You want to sack bunt there and give us an out? As a pitcher, I'd be happy with that. And now Capuano's done.
6 1/3 innings for Capuano, and he leaves with a runner at second, his responsibility, and he is trailing 3-2 as Sean Kelly will come in. off against the Red Sox. Might even see Yoenis Cespedes in the lineup. That's game 2. Coverage on Yes starts at 3 with Audi batting practice today. Then Sunday night, come back to Yes at the nationally televised game for Yankees Extra Innings post-game coverage. Some of these great shots you're seeing from overhead, we have to thank the people at Hood Dairy, their blimp, providing these unbelievable shots over Boston. So we thank Hood as Sean Kelly deals a strike to Dustin Pedroia. The numbers on Kelly is 36 game. Pedroia tonight is 1 for 3. Fielder's choice grounder in the first, an RBI double in the third. Also scored a run and struck out in the fourth. The speedy Mookie Betts is at second. What a difference 28 years makes, right, David? The name Mookie was villainous here in Boston, and now they're starting to chant it.
It is ironic. Almost like a Curb Your Enthusiasm scene, you know, with Larry David. The Mookie and Buckner scene.
Grounded up the middle and through for a base hit. Betts rounds third. He will score. It's an RBI single for Pedroia. And the Red Sox now lead 4-2.
Obviously is going to be Capuano's earned run is a 4 or 5 hopper just hit in the right spot, and Boston has had that working today. They hit him where they ain't.
Well, with David Ortiz due up, Joe Girardi's going to go to the bullpen. He's going to bring in a left-hander, runner at first base, 1 man out, 4-2 Sox. Of all the key plays from tonight's contest, plus Meredith Morakovitz talks to the players in the clubhouse, and Joe Girardi's reaction in the manager's report. It's all coming up on the W.B. Mason Yankees postgame. That is only on Yes. Well, the Yankees call on the left-hander Matt Thornton, who has been pitching very well of late. ERA is down to 2.66, and it'll be his lefty fastballs against David Ortiz. That one is chopped to second. Drew tries to tag Pedroia. They say that he went out of the baseline, so it is a double play. And Thornton throws 1 pitch and gets 2 outs and gets out of the inning. But the Red Sox score 1 run on 2 hits No errors and nobody left on base. One former teammate trying to tag the other, but he gets the double play nonetheless as we go to the 8th. Red Sox 4 and the Yankees 2 as we go to the top of the 8th inning, and the Red Sox will bring in right-hander Junichi Tazawa for his 49th game.
Pretty good numbers. Strikeouts to walks ratio, excellent.
Well, this is their formula. The Yankees have a formula. This is theirs, Tazawa. And then they will go to their closer. It'll be Jeter, Ellsbury, and Teixeira as the Yankees try to get something going offensively. Derek tonight is 0 for 3. Deep drive, left field. Going back, Craig. Turning, looking, see ya. Home run, Derek Jeter. Red Sox lead 4-3.
First pitch fastball, drifting, middle end. Jeter turns on it. A rare Jeter pulled ball on the first pitch. Usually looking to go the other way, but here at Fenway Park, pretty good idea to look first pitch fastball, get it, and hit it over the monster. Try to get the bat head out.
Yankees to within 1 run. Here is Jacoby Ellsbury.
Just, Jeter with a monster ball. It's a little semi-Derek Jeter chant breaking out here at Fenway. Quickly squashed.
That one is clubbed to deep center. Betts back, still back, leaps, and he makes the play. Oh, what a play by Mookie Betts. And he took away what would probably have been a triple for Jacoby Ellsbury. Wow.
Well, even he's going to look back at the replay on the scoreboard, and this is just outstanding, covering enormous ground. Even though Betts was playing fairly deep, he got the full speed in a hurry. Tremendously athletic player and play.
Here's Mark Teixeira. That one is looped to left field, and that is going to be a fair ball and bouncing to the seats for a double. Not a fair game. Ellsbury just crushes the ball, probably puts a dent in it, and Teixeira loops one just inside the left field line.
This ball is just hit on the screws. And Mookie Betts on his horse in a hurry.
David, Betts has a little flair because he's got the two batting gloves hanging out of his back pocket, so when he's running away from it, it looks like he's saying goodbye. He said goodbye to an extra base hit from Jacoby Ellsbury. Trip to the mound to talk with Tozawa. Juan Nieves. A lot of glove covering there, mouth covering with the glove. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. That's going to bring up Beltran, red hot. A walk, a home run, and an RBI single.
Be surprised in this situation with how hot Beltran has been, as if the Red Sox give him anything close to hit. Going with the splitter, falling behind 1-0, I'd be very surprised if he gets a fastball out over the plate.
Fouled away and out of play. Got word that the Red Sox catcher David Ross left the game with right foot plantar fasciitis, which could take a long time to heal. And this supposedly was a re-aggravation of that injury. Christian Vasquez calling the signs for Tozawa. The 1-1. Sounds like a broken back ground ball. Backhanded there by Pedroia. They'll get the out at first as Teixeira moves to third. Here's Brian McCann. 0 for 3 for him tonight. 2 fly balls to left and a strikeout looking. Yankees down by 1, 4-3. We're in the top of the 8th inning. They do not shift the way other teams shift for McCann. Had a pretty good July. 101 points better than he had June. 198 to 299. But the power simply has not been there consistently. Xander Bogaerts is on the shortstop side of second. Nice block there by Vasquez.
See that Tazawa really trusts Vasquez in this situation. Tazawa's best pitch is that hard splitter. He's thrown it 2 times in a row here to McCann. In the dirt with a man on third. Little high risk, but Vasquez excellent at blocking that last one. Going to throw another one here.
2-1 on McCann. Greg Breslow is up. And the 2-1. 3-1. Chase Headley is on deck. Crowd of 37,782, a sellout here at Fenway Park.
Very close pitch there that everybody on the Boston side thought was a strike. Everybody but the one who counted, the home plate umpire.
The 3-1. 3-2 on McCann.
It's 5 straight splitters from Tazawa to McCann. I gotta believe he's gonna get another one too here to make it 6 in a row.
The payoff. From a breaking ball.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
And he walked him.
Not thrown with a lot of conviction either. Very hard to break out your 3rd or 4th best pitch in that situation and throw for a strike. Curious call.
Got to bring up Chase Headley with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Headley tonight is 0 for 3, a fly ball to right, ground ball to second, and ground ball to third.
One of those situations, Michael, where the guy who closes out the game in the 9th gets credit for the save, but really the save is happening right here. Partially from Tazawa's doing, giving up the home run to Jeter. The game's on the line right now.
Pitch to Headley. 95-mile-an-hour fastball inside.
The walk around the mound tells you what you need to know. Tazawa not happy with the strike zone in this inning. Watch the glove of the catcher. Almost right to it. A little bit of movement. Just in off the plate.
The 1-0. Gets a strike called on that one. 1-1. 1-1. 2-1. And on deck is Stephen Drew.
A good take there from Headley. Pretty good looking splitter from Tazawa, and Headley just spit on it.
Right in on the thumbs. Grounded to Pedroia to get the final out. Yankees creep closer on the home run by Jeter. 2 hits and 2 runners left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 4-3 Sox. Is brought to you in part by Buick. Visit tristatebuick.com for great lease offers. By Blimpie. Get the most for your money with Blimpie $5 deals. Choose from 4 of your Blimpie favorites. And by your Tri-Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2014 models. On the Hyundai scoreboard, Red Sox lead 4-3. Boy, the catch by Mookie Betts looming so large in that inning for the Yankees, but they couldn't get the big hit with Headley at the plate. Now they bring in Adam Warren for the 49th time this year. Also worth noting that the Orioles have defeated the Mariners 2-1 at Camden Yards, so more pressure on the Yankees to not fall further back in the American League East. Warren deals high to Mike Napoli. Koji Uehara is getting ready. And a strike from Warren.
Just not quite the same year for Napoli this year as opposed to last year. Really had career highs across the board last year in the middle of that Boston order. 12 home runs and 36 RBIs are a little short to what he showed last year and really on his career norm.
Warren, the fourth Yankee pitcher tonight. Did he go? No, he did not, said Barrett. So a walk to Napoli.
Boy, very close. Slider down and away. He definitely checks his swing. McCann asked, doesn't get the call, and the pitch just misses too in the strike zone. We talked about the trade deadline. John Lester going to make his first start, Michael, Saturday at Oakland on Yoenis Cespedes T-shirt day. Wow. What do you do with those? Huh? You got boxes and boxes of Cespedes T-shirts.
I think you send them here. Let him give them out, yeah.
Make another trade.
Grounder by Allen Craig to Headley. There's one. On to first, it's a double play. You can still see that Drew's having trouble making that pivot, but he got it done.
It's just such a different angle for second base because you don't see the runner coming. From shortstop, you can peripherally see, or in your peripheral vision can see the runner. Here, you're blind. You definitely hear footsteps. So the tougher turn is for a second baseman.
Because he's making that step almost into the runner. A lot of second basemen use the bag as protection. Robbie Cano used to do that very well. He'll learn. As Mick Kelleher told Meredith Morakovich, he has good feet and good hands. He should be able to make the transition.
Yeah, he's a very good athlete, obviously, but it's just a different angle from second base. Willie Randolph, one of the best of all time, too. Very underrated player, in my opinion, Michael. Willie Randolph, the captain of the Yankees. All-around ball player. Base running, defense, offense. He would be a sabermetric darling in today's game.
2 World Series rings as a player, 4 as the Yankee third base coach. Got the Mets to within a called strike on Carlos Beltran of going to the World Series. Good baseball man. The 1-2. He and Frank White of the Royals used to go at it a lot. Frank White used to win the Gold Glove, and Willie would say, "Yeah, but you don't have these," and he would show him the World Series rings.
Great comeback.
White eventually got one.
Yes, he did. The I-70 series.
Swing and a miss. Bogart's down on strikes. Well, it comes down to the 9th inning for the Yankees. It's going to be Drew, Prado, and Gardner. Let's see what they can do against Urahara. of the hookup, as Brandon Steiner and Goose Gossett surprised one Yankee fan with the gift of a lifetime. Catch the premiere of The Hookup with Brandon Steiner tomorrow at 8 after Yankees Red Sox coverage only on Yes. All right, we've got some changes in the outfield for the Red Sox. Brock Holt moves from right to left. Jackie Bradley Jr. takes over in center. And Betts moves from center to right. So an all-new outfield for the Red Sox. Different positions for sure, and a new pitcher as he tries to pick up his 22nd save, Koji Uehara, and he will face Stephen Drew. And a strike. 4-3, Red Sox lead the Yankees. First game of this 3-game set. High fly ball, shallow right field. Coming on Betts for the first out. So in his first Yankee game, Stephen Drew 0 for 4. And that'll bring up Martin Prado, pinch hit for Ichiro in the 7th inning and grounded out to third. And the pitch is a strike.
It's really not about the power. It's just Uehara is always in attack mode, always throwing strikes. 41 of his 47 appearances this year have been scoreless.
Oh-2 on Prado.
It's a familiar position for Uehara to be 0-2.
And the pitch. Grounded foul. A tough hop for the ball girl. Recovers nicely. And the right-hander deals the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got it right by him. Yankees down to their final out. Six pitches, 6 strikes for the Red Sox closer, and that'll leave it up to Brett Gardner to keep this game alive with Derek Jeter on deck.
Since Uehara was inserted into the closer role last year in June, he's just given up 11 earned runs and 106 in 2/3 innings.
Changes speeds so well, has thrown nothing but strikes since coming in.
That equates to an 0.93 ERA since last June.
Yankees down to their final strike. And the 0-2. First one out of the strike zone. And the 1-2 pitch. 2-2. Gardner is 0 for 2 with 2 walks tonight.
This Gardner's line drive right at Pedroia that turned into a double play in the 5th inning. It really kind of was a key turning point in the middle of the ball game. As Gardner hit it right on the button.
2-2. Still 2-2. The pitch. Gardner has gone from 0-2 to full. Jeter, who homered his last time up, is on deck. Driven out to center field. Bradley is there and makes the play for the final out of the game as the Yankees lose this one 4-3 and drop another game in the standings to the Baltimore Orioles. So the Red Sox, decimated by trades before the trade deadline, start this series off with a 4-3 victory over the Yankees, and Derek Jeter ends the game on deck. Boston, 4 runs on 9 hits. Yankees, 3 runs on 6 hits. We'll talk to the studio with Bob Lorenz, John Flaherty, and Jack Curry will set the table for the rest of the broadcast. Guys.